Overnight, while many of you slept, a 2-year-old child was shot here in Baltimore. Crimes like this simply cannot and will not be tolerated in a civilized society and in a great city like Baltimore. I know that many of you share my outrage, so I'm asking, as the police commissioner, as a city resident, as a father, for your help to identify and arrest the person responsible for this cowardly, violent act. At approximately 12:30 a.m., our officers from the Central District were called to the 600 block of West Franklin Street for a shot spotter alert. When our officers arrived, they were unable to locate a shooting victim or a suspect, but a short while later, we were called to an area hospital for a report of a walk-in shooting victim. The officers found a 2-year-old boy being treated at a hospital for a gunshot wound to his stomach. Detectives believe the child was inside of the vehicle when the shooting occurred. What we believe happened was the vehicles were stopped at a red light, and the light turned green. When none of the vehicles moved through the intersection, the driver of the vehicle where the victim was located blew the horn several times, but none of the cars moved through the green light. And after blowing the horn several times during the green light cycle, the driver drove around the cars at the light and then turned the corner. What we believe is the driver of the first car at the light followed and caught up to the victim's vehicle and then fired from his vehicle into the victim's vehicle, striking the child. We believe the suspect vehicle is a gray or silver minivan. Once again, we believe it's a gray or silver minivan. The suspect is described as a heavy-set black male subject with dreadlocks. Our partners at the ATF's Baltimore Field Division are offering a reward of $15,000 for information leading to the arrest of this person, responsible for this cowardly, violent act we believe to be an act of road rage. So whoever you are, please turn yourself in. You shot a child. Whoever you thought you were shooting at, you didn't shoot. You shot a child, a 2-year-old. So please turn yourself in. And once again, we're offering a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of this individual who committed this cowardly, violent act. All right.
Questions?
This is not the first time that a child in Baltimore has become the victim of shooting into a vehicle. You know, sometimes it's exchange of gunfire between two vehicles, sometimes it's an incident like this. And there are efforts by your department to utilize license plate readers. I know you have a concentration on major corridors. It seems there's a nexus between the utilization of vehicles and crime here. There's obviously a repeated incidence of children becoming the victim of that. Can you speak to the broader dynamics, the carjackings, carjacked vehicles being used in robberies, the nexus between vehicles and crime in the city?
Well, because individuals have a need to be mobile, they are using cars, as you said, to commit crimes, to commit other robberies, and to commit shootings because they have a need to have an escape and because they need to be mobile. And because we are in a large city, people are using those cars to commit crimes. And so that is a dynamic here, but that's a dynamic everywhere. That's not just unique to Baltimore. But this is an act of road rage. This is a coward who fired out of his car into another car indiscriminately, not knowing who he would hit, and there were other people in that car. But the 2-year-old was shot. And so right now, we desperately need the help of anyone who knows anything, who has heard anything, who thinks they know something. There's a $15,000 reward for us to find this coward who did this so we can hold them accountable. To our knowledge, the child is in somewhat stable condition and is expected to survive. That's what we believe we know right now.
Have you spoken to the family of the child, and have they been helpful as to the nature of the crime, how it occurred?
I have not personally, but our detectives and members of Central District have, and yes, they have been helpful. Yes, all right.
Were you able to put together the preliminary explanation as to what occurred with the help of CCTV cameras or other surveillance? How did you come to understand what exactly had occurred?
Well, it's meeting with the family and meeting with others that we know what we know right now, but we're using every tool in the toolbox to identify the vehicle, to identify the perpetrator. But until such time as evidence presents itself to us or we find it, we need the community, whoever might know something, to call our Crime Stoppers hotline or to call members of our central district to help us identify the vehicle and or the perpetrator.
You've mentioned the use of guns to settle petty disputes and beefs in the city as being a problem. This seems to be a prime example of that. Can you elaborate a bit as to what the city needs to overcome, what the people of Baltimore need to overcome in terms of that readiness with a weapon?
So you speak of what we call a culture of violence. It's a culture, and it's deep-rooted, where people want to settle their disputes using firearms. First of all, many of them are obtaining the guns illegally, and then they're passing them around, and they're using them indiscriminately and just shooting at people they know and even people they don't know. But the decision to use the gun is not made when you use it. It is made when you walk away from home with it. You've decided that if I need it, I'll use it. This is another example of that. We have to overcome people deciding to carry guns, because when you carry guns, you'll use them when the time presents itself. So those are two things we have to overcome, but that's a deep-rooted culture, and until we change that culture, we're going to have problems, but we have to change that culture and then have consequences for those who do that. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you all.